Welcome back to the channel, everyone. It's the Reluctant Gringo. We're back again, and here we go. Here's my son.
I'm back. I'm on camera, boys.
He's on camera again.
You can see my face.
It's been a while, so we're going to explain that. It's been about a week and a half since we've gone live, and I can't even begin to think, hopefully this stream is looking okay. It's not
healthy.
too choppy. It says it's healthy, but yeah. If you've been with us for a few weeks, you know that we were building a house and that we're moving, and we did that. We built the house and we moved.
We had Wi-Fi.
We had Wi-Fi.
We still have Wi-Fi.
We still have Wi-Fi. But here's the thing: the neighborhood that we moved into, just like a lot of places in the world, internet providers, they sign deals and they can only be the one internet provider in the whole area. And for this area, it's a thing called Telmex. Now they don't have the best infrastructure that they buried underground here, and our neighbors who have Telmex, which is the fiber optic, they will go out for a week at a time. They don't have internet for a week at a time.
Well, more like 3 days.
Okay. Listen, 3 hours is like a week to me.
Yeah, I know.
So I did what any sane person would do. I installed Starlink. Now, Starlink, I don't want to crap all over Starlink. I'm not a fanboy, but I don't want to crap all over it. If you're going to stream a movie from Netflix, if you're going to have WhatsApp and Wi-Fi calling, if you're going to watch YouTube, text, all that, surf the web,
play some games,
you're good. Your PlayStation, if you're going to play games that are already downloaded, you're good. If you're going to do so here's where I ran into trouble. So, all right, you can laugh at me all you want, but I like Legos and I like Batman, so I decided, I can stream Lego Batman. It's a PS3 game from long ago from the PlayStation service because I have the PlayStation Pass, and Starlink can't handle it. It just can't. The game shuts down. Sometimes it won't even open up. So it cannot handle it. So streaming a PS3 game from server is just too much. We have the Generation 3 with the router. Everything's brand new and everything. So paying for the extra 40 gigs, priority business. So that's what we have. So as far as this live stream is concerned, it's going to be choppy at times. So I apologize for that. Hopefully it doesn't freeze up. I've done everything I can to hopefully buffer it and all that. See, I'm already getting a warning signal. Stream's current bit rate is lower than the recommended bit rate, so you're going to get freeze frames, so I apologize for that. We are working on trying to fix that and do the best we can. I did contact Starlink, and they basically said, you're SOL. It is what it is. It's this part of the world. There's only so many satellites, and they basically said the more people that have Starlink around you, the more congested it is, and the worse your reception is going to be, the worse your bandwidth is going to be. And guess what? Because of the Telmex situation, every house around us in this neighborhood has Starlink.
I think in total, including us, there's at least 7 or 8 houses we're aware of.
Yes.
And that's not including the other, probably, 15 houses in this probably small area.
Yeah.
And then the other neighborhoods that probably have the same issues.
Yeah, basically it's if I walk outside, all 7 houses that I see, they have Starlink. And they're all using it for business and everything else. So it is what it is. It's going to be what it is. And there's only so much we're going to be able to do about it. So we're going to continue on. And hopefully that we do install Telmex and they kind of get their act together. We have that fiber optic. We'll have Starlink and fiber optic, and we'll go from there. We'll play around. We tried different routers. We tried different. We tried to do something with it. We bought a great router.
It is. It's a Linksys.
A Linksys WH301. Now
what's that? It's or AC
2200 WH301, and it just wouldn't pair with. It wouldn't let us do the bypass on the Starlink router, and so maybe we'll try something again with a different router at some point in time.
I think it's made the bypass with Generation 2 Starlinks because there's instructions for to do it. You can do it with that, but it's only Generation 2 instructions. Yeah. So I imagine probably the software is a little different with Generation 3. Yeah.
So I mean, but it's funny. I had back and forth with Starlink over the last week through chat, and they basically said it is what it is. Until they get more satellites in the air, it is what it is. So if you're thinking about Starlink, I'm not saying don't get Starlink, but if you're going to do something with heavy usage, like if you are going to live stream or you're a gamer and you like to live stream your games, you're not going to be able to do that in certain areas of the world, at least. Maybe in the United States, there's more satellites floating overhead in LEO, or what they call low Earth orbit. Right. But here, there's only so much. And again, the more people that have Starlink, so they're working on upgrading the system. It's going to be a thing. It is what it is. There's not much you can do about it. So right now we have good, not great, not excellent, but good stream health. So we'll get to it, right? And
oh, you guys see the bit rate you're talking about?
yeah, you see the bit rate. So even this, even our
little animation there.
Our little animation is not really that good. So we can see it choppy here on our screen.
We went to, well, I should say, you went to OBS, right? You put in a delay.
A 5-minute delay.
A 5-minute delay, so it hopefully has enough time to kind of catch up. And even we can see here, there are some chops.
Yeah. So we can see all the chops. We can see all the chops.
We know the audio's fine. We know the audio isn't chopped, which is kind of funny because you'll just get a couple of freeze frames here and there or chops of us mid-sentence talking about something else.
But we are basically on a mountain in the middle of Mexico.
Or in a mountain kind of hill range.
Yeah, we are. We're in rural Mexico, so it is what it is. You know, it is what it is. So hopefully we get this straightened out, and so we'll continue. So we're gonna do the stream today. Like I said, it might be choppy. It might not look good. Maybe it gets better over time, but we are operating off of just a Starlink system, and
we might try some other ways to stream. We might maybe do it without the camera, just have the audio.
Yeah, I tried that, and it still was choppy, but we might try that.
Well, the audio is choppy. Yeah, I would say what we could do is take screenshots and go screenshot by screenshot.
Yeah, we might go cameraless, and so it really depends. But like I said, we are limited by they talk about what's the difference between first and third world countries. Here it is. Third world countries, they don't have reliable internet.
Unless you're in the cities.
Well, yeah, the cities. I mean, Mexico City, Puebla, things like that. You're gonna have. I mean, but as far as that, like, you get outside of the main city area, you're not gonna have that reliable internet.
Yeah,
that's a third world country.
It's just not there.
So, but we're gonna talk about some stuff. We're gonna bring some stuff up, and we're gonna go full screen and all that. So,
it says we're excellent now.
Yeah, it says we're excellent now, even though I can see myself freezing. So,
well, that's from 5 minutes ago.
That is from 5 minutes ago. I literally put a 5-minute buffer on this thing. So what you're seeing right now is actually 5 minutes in the past. So trying my best to do everything that we can to get it going.
So if we get a comment, they might be like from way back from a topic we moved.
Yeah, so the comments, so just
can comment.
You can comment.
We might be, miles beyond you in terms of subjects.
You know what I forgot?
What?
Where the hell are my glasses?
You can't even read.
Can't read.
I don't even know where to put them.
I have no idea where to put my glasses.
Gringo, you're just gonna go read. No glasses.
I'm gonna wing it. Old man reads without glasses. Ah! All right. Boom.
Is it behind your computer?
Oh, who knows where it is? Who knows where it is?
Not behind you? No. All right.
So. No, it's okay. I got this. I'll work it out.
Gringo, you're pretty blind.
All
right, Gringo, I'll let you go.
I don't know. They're probably in my bedroom. Your mother's probably using them, walking around with them. But it's okay. It's all good.
Well, so apologize for the echo if you hear one. I'm not sure. There should be an echo.
There's probably a little bit of echo. The houses here are all made of concrete.
That's also brand new, so we don't have much stuff.
Yeah, we don't have much stuff built. Like I've got my desk. I've got another desk coming. I got some more stuff. What's behind me is basically like the most done part of the house.
Yeah.
Is me putting my crap up, right? You guys probably. Anyways, okay. So the big story this week, and I know I'm probably, we're going to cover a lot of stuff about Doge and Elon Musk and Donald Trump. We're going to cover a little bit of pop culture because there's a couple things that I can't ignore. I can't ignore a good Emilia Perez story.
Oh no.
Oh yeah, she's kind of a fan of Austrian painters.
I'm sorry. Hold on.
Hey,
wait.
We're gonna get to that. It's right there on the screen. We're gonna get to it later.
Austrian painting. the premier.
Maybe. Kind of the sort of attitude that she has. Yeah.
His art is actually not that bad. Okay. It's honestly, I'm surprised they rejected him. No offense.
Okay. Anyway, let's stop talking about that. So USAID. This has been the big thing. People have been triggered over it. There's been a lot of talk about it. There's been a lot of misinformation about USAID. What is USAID? USAID, first of all, we're going to go through the history of USAID because then you kind of get an idea. People saying that it's a constitutional crisis, that Donald Trump and Elon Musk shutting down USAID is against the law somehow. It's against the Constitution. All right, so you hear that a lot. It's a constitutional crisis. He has no power to do this. I'm here to tell you, yes, he does. He absolutely. So anybody who tells you that the President of the United States does not have the power to shut down and freeze all funds from USAID, they're not telling you the truth.
They're lying to you.
They're lying to you. So when you
Or
see the liberal
misinformed.
media, they're misinforming you, or they just don't know what they're talking about. So when you're seeing the liberal media and they're saying he's throwing all this, people are dying. No one's dying because USAID shut down. Okay, that's different from the regular foreign assistance that we give to countries. All right, this is a totally different thing. All right, so here are some of the things that, and there's some misinformation to what I'm going to tell you as we're going to go through this. Here's some of the things that were listed as what USAID was giving out over the last 4 years. The first thing is $50 million to fund condoms in Gaza.
I remember hearing this, but like, don't they have bigger problems?
They have bigger problems. First of all, that would be 50 condoms per man because there's 1 million men that live there. There's 2 million people that live in Gaza. Half of them are men, half of them are women. Not all of them are.
Also, doesn't it go against?
It does. That is not true. You're going to hear that over and over again. You hear it on Jesse Waters' prime time. It's not true. That actual item is not true. There is $50 million given to Gaza for family planning, which is, again, could include condoms, could include other types of birth control, could include pro-life, pro-choice decision-making. All right? So there is that. And if you think that's a good idea or bad idea to spend the $50 million on, guess what? Like, again, I go back to, we're going to talk about what USAID is supposed to be and what it's supposed to do as opposed to what this is. This is why I wanted to read this list first. $1.5 million to advance diversity, equity, and inclusion in Serbia's workplaces.
Okay, hold on.
Serbia.
I lived in Europe.
Yeah.
I was right across the Adriatic, essentially. Yeah. I actually had a roommate who was Montenegrin, and I knew multiple Serbs. Trust me, that place is not DEI. That is just Serb, white as could be.
They don't care.
They don't care.
$70,000 for the production of a DEI musical in Ireland.
I'm sorry, what?
Yep. So you could buy a ticket and go see a musical in Ireland about diversity, equity, inclusion. $47,000 on a transgender opera in Colombia. $32,000 for a transgender comic book in Peru.
Okay, why are we touching Latin America now with this stuff? Please leave my
people. Let my people go. $37 million to the World Health Organization, which is basically controlled by China. I'm sorry. All the misinformation we got during COVID, all the type of controls that they try to put on us, and they wouldn't actually say that the virus came from China. Listen, I'm sorry. That's good. Let's cut that out. We don't need to give $37 million to the World Health Organization anymore. We have plenty of organizations here in this country like the NIH, and we have our Centers for Disease Control. Right. We don't need an overarching. We don't need.
I think the idea was to kind of create cooperation amongst those.
In the 1960s, great. 1950s, great. We needed it. We don't need it now. $16 million in funding for the institutional contractors and gender development offices. $16 million in funding for institutional contractors and gender development offices. Again, more DEI stuff. $12 million in support services to the Bureau for Resilience, Environment, and Food Security. Again, resilience. It's nice, but guess what? We have food security issues here in the United States. $6 million in non-emergency funding for redundant administrative supports for the Center of Excellence. Let me say that again. $6 million in non-emergency funding for redundant so basically backup secretaries for the Centers of Excellence.
We're creating jobs for the sake of creating jobs that don't serve a purpose.
People are getting kickbacks. This money isn't going to some of this stuff. This is all kickbacks, right? I mean, we just saw Bob Menendez, former senator from New Jersey, go to jail for 11 years because he was getting money from Egypt. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of crap.
He was getting gold bars.
He's getting gold bars.
I mean, no offense. Yeah. I take a couple gold bars.
Nice. It's $600,000 to fund technical assistance for family planning in Latin America. Again, why are we doing pro-choice stuff in Latin America? If they want their stuff to be pro-choice, they'll do it themselves. Okay, so this is just some of the things that have come out, and then we had.
My problem is it's subverting their kind of traditional, or what the majority wants.
Well, yeah.
And I don't think that's what USA should be.
Well, here's the best one.
Used for.
Elon Musk found $8 million in subscription contracts for Politico. Politico is a very liberal outlet. Oh, my glasses. Those aren't my glasses.
No.
Oh, those are my glasses. And there's my wife getting my glasses. So Politico is a very liberal.
Finance behind it.
Does she want her glasses back?
Do you want these glasses? No? Okay.
So Politico is a very liberal thing. They've never written a story negative of Joe Biden or Kamala Harris, ever. They were basically always so absolutely against Donald Trump, absolutely against everything the Republicans do.
I used to read some of their stuff. They used
So-
to have some good, decent articles.
Let me ask you a question. How much is a subscription to Politico?
A basic subscription?
Yeah.
I'd imagine probably 20. Maybe, well, 25 seems high, but let's ballpark it there. 25.
8 million. I don't know how many subscription contracts they had.
Well, what kind of subscriptions are these? Are these
They're
because
supposed
of
to
the
be. They're supposed to be insider information. Now, first of all, why would you buy that for the people who are the insiders themselves?
Isn't that just? Those are ridiculously high prices for those insiders.
Some of it could be like $70,000.
That's what I was saying.
But why do you need that for people who are already insiders? If you're
so that when you're in the inside, you can be even more in the inside.
If you're in the Department of State,
I remember when I said that 2 months ago.
You already know what's going on inside the Department of State.
Yeah.
But anyways, they shouldn't be funding media.
No.
The media, independent media should not. And speaking of which, NPR, we should cut off funding for them because they're not independent either. So they're as liberal as it gets. If you don't believe me, watch election night coverage with Donald Trump got elected.
Yes.
Okay. No money from the government should be going to.
No, not independent.
This is state-controlled media. This is communism.
I mean, I don't mind if we have like certain PBS. You know what I mean?
Even that, no, PBS. That's as liberal as it gets.
I mean, we should fix it a little bit, make it more central.
Let me answer this question.
But that's what I don't go against it.
How much money does the Children's Television Workshop make off of merchandise? Yeah, I mean, really, seriously. So, oh, we're frozen.
We are frozen.
Okay, so hopefully now we're not frozen anymore.
For 5 minutes.
So, anyways. Yeah, sorry about that. Like I said, it's the internet, and we were frozen.
We'll see where we are. We're playing like in the future, essentially. We're not sure what's happening in the past.
Yeah, we are. Yeah, see, look, bit rate down to 2,200. So how much money does the Children's Television Workshop make? Off of just merchandising of Big Bird, merchandising of
Elmo,
merchandising of all the toys.
Elmo, Big Bird. I mean, you're talking Cookie Monster. I mean, that's millions.
Taking enough money.
Yeah.
We don't need to fund PBS.
Yeah. I mean, well, then if you don't fund PBS, right, that's independent news.
That's not independent.
Eventually it becomes independent if you don't fund it.
Yeah, it should be independent. Fuck.
I do think there should be some form of media that is kind of not like state controlled. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not like I don't want like a communist kind of thing where it's like only state controlled media exists, right? But I think there is some genuine good that can come from having a program on public television, on public cable that is available to everyone because they can't afford like a subscription to CNN or whatever.
Okay, then they can't have social messaging in there like...
That's what I mean. I don't agree with the social messaging. I think it should just be...
I mean, they even have it in Sesame Street. Well, they had it. Sesame Street's on HBO now. But I mean,
that's what I mean. I think
PBS
it should be... You should bring it back in the middle here. That's the point of it, to be middle for all Americans, regardless of your beliefs, politically or religiously.
Just saying. So there's a lot of money. No money from the government should go to independent media. Yeah. So anyway, so 1961 is when USAID, this whole big department that we're talking about, was created. It was created in 1961 by executive order of John F. Kennedy. It was then the Foreign Assistance Bill that was passed in 1961 or 1962 by Congress. Now, what is the goal of USAID? Well, I just happen to have up the original bill in front of me. So let me read from it. The United States Development Cooperation Policy should emphasize 5 principal goals. The alleviation of the worst physical manifestations of poverty among the world's poor majority. Okay.
Help the poor. Help the poor around the world. That's nice.
That's awesome.
I'm cool with that. No problem there.
The promotion of conditions enabling developing countries to achieve self-sustaining economic growth with equitable distribution of benefits. Great.
Make sure people are sustainable by themselves.
Yeah, make sure they can stand on their own 2 feet.
Okay.
Make sure everybody's getting the same. Like, there's no we're not going to give food to those people because we don't like, okay. Number 3, the encouragement of development processes in which individual civil and economic rights are respected and enhanced.
Civil rights.
Civil rights. Okay, so far we're good.
Cool.
The integration of the developing countries into an open and equitable international economic system. Bring them into the first world free market economy.
Do some trade.
Do some trade.
Got oil? I like oil.
Yeah, we like oil. The promotion of good governance through combating corruption and improving transparency and accountability. Ending corruption in government. These 5 things are great. These are
civil rights, economic mobility,
yep,
food security, or you're poor, help the impoverished, self-reliability, trade with everybody, not just your neighbors.
No corruption.
No corruption.
Okay.
That's pretty good.
The Congress declares that pursuit of these goals requires that development concerns be fully reflected. This is really important what I'm about to say. The Congress declares that pursuit of these goals requires that development concerns excuse me, be fully reflected in U.S. foreign policy and that United States development resources be effectively and efficiently utilized.
Foreign policy.
Foreign policy. Basically, all of what USA does needs to be reflected in U.S. foreign policy. So let me ask this question.
Who controls foreign policy?
Who sets U.S. foreign policy?
Well, you'd say the president, typically.
It would be the president.
Typically. He can't sign any treaties. That's the job of Congress.
No, he signs treaties, Congress approves them.
Okay, well, you get what I mean.
That the
I
only
say sign in the sense of like approving, because you can sign a piece of paper, but it doesn't mean it's nothing in the Congress.
There's only 2 ways in which the Congress affects foreign policy. Number 1, funding.
Right.
If they decide not to fund it, then it's not funded. Number 2, the approval of treaties that are signed by the president. Other than that, the president of the United States determines U.S. foreign policy. Okay, that's why he's got a Department of State and a Secretary of State. Let's continue.
Right.
Here we go.
Ooh.
The next paragraph after what I just read.
Paragraph B.
Paragraph B reads, and this is page 2 of the bill that was passed in 1961 to create USA. Under the policy guidance of the Secretary of State, the agency primarily responsible for administering this part should have the responsibility for coordinating all United States development-related activities.
So in other words, this is under the complete purview of the Secretary of State during whatever administration. Marco boss is the president.
Marco Rubio is specifically given the power in this bill that's been established for over 60 years. He can say yes or no to whatever the funding is.
Right.
And guess who Marco Rubio takes his orders from?
Trump.
Donald Trump. Therefore, Donald Trump can tell Marco Rubio to cut the funding, pause the funding, freeze the funding, audit the funding, which is what he's got Elon Musk do. So you see all of these Democrats out there that are all triggered. Guess what? They're all lying to you. They are lying to you. Now, this bill has been amended over and over, and it is a good 200. Now, the original bill is only about 14 pages long. It's been amended so many times. It's 276 pages long. And yes, I read all 276 pages before getting on the stream. So yes, it goes into specific areas about, hey, we want to help farming assistance in Latin America. Crap like that, right? Nothing big. It doesn't really change anything.
It doesn't change the spirit of the bill.
No.
Or the actual legal process of upholding it.
It talks about how we don't want to be involved in drug wars or drug trade. We don't want to fund any of that. So there's actually a section that says we're not allowed to fund police forces in other countries. Reason being, because sometimes those police forces, they don't have the same restraint as ours, believe it or not. So we don't want to be funding the Gestapo in South Sudan or something like that.
You don't want to be supporting a regime indirectly.
Exactly. So
you don't want to be the guy in the history books that's like, well, the police force of this guy before he was a dictator and only became a dictator because of his police force was actually receiving funding from the United States government. Yeah. That doesn't look good in history books. It looks pretty bad.
Yeah. It talks about building dams. It talks about construction of water control areas.
Just self-reliability stuff.
Yeah.
If you want to farm to feed yourself dams so you have water to drink
and the reason
and
being,
no drugs so you don't kill yourself.
Yeah, the reason being because when this bill was created in the 60s, it was all about helping the poor. In the 70s, it all became about feeding and good governance. And then in the 80s, it became about security and security assistance,
war on drugs,
war on drugs and stuff like that. So it really is. It's changed, but it's never the accountability and who's in charge of it is never actually wavered. Ukraine is part of that now. The foreign U.S. aid is where the Ukraine money comes from. A lot of the Ukraine,
which is kind of funny since it kind of goes against number 5. I'm not saying that Zelensky is corrupt himself, but the Ukrainian government historically is pretty corrupt.
It was
extremely corrupt. It's so corrupt.
When Trump was president the first time, it was ranked number 5 most corrupt countries in the world.
Yeah, I mean that's the main reason why it actually wasn't allowed in the EU for the longest time was because of how corrupt it was. Until only recently they kind of started to kind of clean up the act of it. Granted, there's still problems underneath the surface, but on top of the surface, it looks pretty good.
So here's how Biden treated the USA, and this is where it gets weird. You would think that this is just a charity organization, okay? President Biden gave the chairperson of USAID under his administration, the administrator, a permanent seat on the National Security Council. What the hell are they doing on the National Security Council? That's, hey, we don't want to go to war or something like that. It's highly classified stuff.
Got $50 million to Gaza for.
Yeah. There's no reason that person should be under or on the National Security Council, but there they are. Now, as well, their priority, and I'm reading from right now is from the Congressional Research Service, which is a truly independent research service that does reports for Congress, both the Senate and the House, and for other organizations in the government. They're basically the research librarians of the U.S. government, all right? And they really, I've used them before. They really are. They just tell it like it is. They don't want to slant it either way. USAID Administrator Samantha Power, who was the one that was spending all these billions and billions of dollars on DEI initiatives around the world, well, guess what? Has repeatedly cited, and this is during the Biden administration, repeatedly cited diversity, equity, inclusion, and accessibility as agency priorities.
Okay.
Basically, she changed the priorities of USAID. She turned it into a social messaging platform. She turned it into her own, under Biden's DEI, obsession, as a place to give money to transgender shit and whatever it is around the world. Like, that's what we exported under goodwill as the United States, right? That's not what we should have been exporting. We should have been exporting food. We should have been water. We should have been there helping build sustainable housing and dams and things like that. We should have been doing what we should have been doing in the first place. But instead, Samantha Power, who I hope they actually subpoena and bring before Congress to ask these questions, like, why did you spend money on this? She won't go. I mean, she's going to claim executive privilege because she was on the NSC. So she has, classified information at this point.
Well, can't you revoke that?
You can revoke it.
Trump did just 2 hours ago revoke the national security clearances.
But she had national. She has information she don't want out.
Well, that's why you do it behind closed doors. Then.
So
doesn't really, there's ways to do this.
Yeah,
and you can put a report, obviously blacklisting certain things that need to be blacklisted.
But it was a term. It's USAID. That's what USAID is, though. And so to say that Donald Trump doesn't have the authority, or he's throwing things into a constitutional crisis, these people actually haven't read the bill that they're complaining about. Not like they read the bills that they pass on their own right now, but they haven't read. So they're out there saying that he is breaking the Constitution, that he is turning this into authoritarianism, that he's turning this into a dictatorship. It's an absolute lie. It's absolute BS. Because if you read the Foreign Assistance Act bill, which creates USAID, it gives all the power to one man. That's the Secretary of State. He works for one man. That's the President of the United States.
Leader of the damn free world.
And they can do whatever they want. They can say yes, they can say no, they can do whatever they want. So all the crap you hear on the other side is just lies. It really is just lies. And that's where we kind of land with that. I don't know. So I did a little bit of. Oh, by the way, this is kind of fun. I hope. Oh, you know what?
We open up the USAID website.
Yeah, this is not going to work, right? This isn't working.
Well, that's from 5 minutes ago. When we were still frozen.
Oh no, this is YouTube. This is OBS Studio.
Oh, okay.
All right. So
try to share it.
Yeah, let me see here. Let's. Yeah, I'm sure I want to remove that.
You sure?
Oh yeah, I'm
How sure are you?
I'm very sure. Screen capture. I don't know what to call it. Just call it whatever.
Whoa, you might want to close
Oh
that
yeah,
out, please.
no.
Whoa.
Look at the magic here. It's all magic. It's all magic out here. Here, late night with the gringo. So that's where that comes from. I mean, that's what it is, and that's where it comes from, and that's for people to be ticked off about it. They don't know their own history.
Yeah, it's been misused.
And okay, hopefully
Terribly misused.
Hopefully that works. So let's lock that. Hopefully that works. So this was on. Let me. We're gonna. Hopefully this works.
We're gonna pray.
Pray it works. All right. Praying it works, and we're not like looking like fools right now.
Oh, we can double check.
So if you go to USAID, the website, this is what you get. You get basically a thank you for your service. We've basically closed it down. If you're outside the United States, we'll help you get home. But thank you for your service. Adios. See you later. Nothing more. You can't access the website anymore. Now, you told me you ran across an article where they were told during the Biden administration, just don't even say no.
Oh, that was in the Treasury Department, where the payments have to go through. Treasury officers were like pretty much told, don't decline any payment, even when it was like clearly an irreputable source or destination.
That's insane.
Of the cash. I mean, we're talking like organizations that committed terror. It's pretty bad. It's pretty rough.
That is insane.
No, they just kind of had a blank check for everybody. And if they ran out of blank checks, they kind of went to the printers and said, all right, we're going to print out some more.
Well, all right.
So,
but that's USA. And if you want to know more, like I said, you can look it up yourself. It's called the Foreign Assistance Act of 1961. Passed by JFK. If you want to see the bill and what it actually tells you, what you can do and what you can't do, it's right there. But I did it for you. There's no crisis. He's just doing his job, Donald Trump.
He's just doing what he's allowed to do.
Yep. Absolutely allowed.
He's not going. I mean, if he was truly going beyond.
Speaking of things that he's allowed to do, he's allowed to sign executive orders that ban transgender women from women's sports. You know what the difference is between Biden and Trump? See, in this picture, Trump is actually signing an executive order. I bet if that was Biden, he'd be like, which kid do I sniff first? Wow. Which one do I grab?
As much as I wish that wasn't the case, unfortunately, it seems very likely.
Dude, that's all he did was smell.
I know.
It was so weird.
Listen? He's probably been to some parties, okay?
Look, we have a president that does things, who doesn't sniff children
when they don't want to be smelled.
He just doesn't sniff children. I bet Donald Trump just doesn't sniff. He may grab the women by the. Wow. Anyway.
Wow. You can't really say that in front of a picture.
Not those children. Is Riley Gaines in this picture anywhere? Because she's like the one that like started.
Back?
That's what's that? Michelle Steele? Is that her name?
No clue.
Used to be an ESPN.
Is that no? Maybe one of the girls further back because it put the.
I would think Riley Gaines would have to be at this side.
She's probably in the back rows because of height.
Probably. But yeah. So this took place a couple days ago. Thank God, because I just don't care. Men should not be in women's sports. I don't care what operation they've had. I don't care what they've chopped off. I don't care what hormone they've taken. They shouldn't be in women's sports. Now, the NCAA came out and said, you know what, Donald Trump? You're right.
You got a point.
We're going to do the same thing and follow your ban. Okay. So far, so good. By the way, you know where you don't see this crap? The NBA, the NFL, MLB.
Look, God, no.
You know why? Because there's money involved, and it's all about merit and talent. So,
well, then the Players Association would throw a fit.
Why? I mean, hey,
the Players Association.
Players Association, they could throw.
They would throw. Well, no, they would throw a fit if you try to okay, here's a transgender man.
Yeah. So you don't see, but you see it in college. Why? Because they're trying to indoctrinate. But now the NCAA is saying, you know what, Donald Trump, you're right. By the way, you're going to be at the Super Bowl.
Yep. And 2 days.
2 days.
Yeah, they have beefed up the security there. Have you seen it?
Oh yeah.
I mean, it was already beefed up because of the whole New Orleans thing, and then he's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna be there." So Secret Service was like, "All right."
I mean, can you tell him no? Can you think the NFL
No.
is like, hey, can you not do this?
No.
Like, I mean,
the NFL can't tell him no because it's the NFL, and that's the president of the United States. You might not agree with him, but you can't tell him no. You can't come to see the Super Bowl. That's very un-American.
Do you think any of his advisors would be like, hey, Mr. President, we'll make some nachos and some chicken wings. We'll stay here, the White House, and watch the Super
I'm
Bowl?
sure some were like, hey, listen, some security concerns. Why not just
I think the
stay
Secret
here?
Service came up and be like, listen, man,
You know
we'll
what?
do what you want. But
I know. I bet. Normally, the Secret Service will actually sometimes overrule the president on certain things, like the security risks.
I don't think they overrule him on anything.
I don't. Him maybe not, but historically, yes, they have in terms of like past presidents and kind of certain kind of like, all right, you want to go there?
Yeah.
You have to be in disguise. You know that? I think it was Bush, not Bush. What president was in the stands for Cal Ripken Jr.'s Iron, like kind of breaks the record of Lou Gehrig? The Iron
Clinton?
Man. I think it was Clinton.
It could have been Clinton.
He was actually at the game, but they had him be in disguise.
Oh.
There's fun fact. It was either Clinton or the president before.
He's a Clinton there with like a fake beard,
Clinton or Bush.
glasses.
It was surrounded by really buff guys wearing Orioles jerseys, all with black sunglasses, walking around him.
You know what would be great if Donald Trump just kind of walks over to like Taylor Swift's box and just like pushes her.
That is I mean, what are you gonna do? I pardon myself of crimes committed. You would piss off a lot of people.
God, that would be awesome. So,
yeah, I'm sure somebody's told him, please don't go. And he's like, this is the one time I'm overruling everybody.
but it's about time this happened. I mean, it's just ridiculous. Now some of the athletes are suing, like certain colleges, like they lost to a man,
right?
And they want their trophy back. They want to be.
Well, yeah, I mean, it makes sense.
So now,
I mean, is it really fair to the girl?
Yeah, that's not.
I mean, you've seen some of these videos of like, this record has stood for 35 years.
The guy blows it away by.
Well, no, maybe a girl beats it maybe by like a millisecond. It's like, all right, it's a huge deal.
Yep.
But the next athlete, transgender woman,
beats it like a minute.
Beats it by like 2 minutes. Yeah. It's like barely a struggle.
That's crazy.
I mean, it's dead. I mean, yeah, please let them have their sport.
But you know, again, then I saw a rally. And you had a bunch of parents, and this had to be Massachusetts. Because
I love Massachusetts because my home.
It had to be. It had to be Massachusetts. Sorry, I just wanted to check on something. Because it looked cold out. Maybe it was New York City. Parents and a big group of people. My 8-year-old's trans, and we need to be. I'm like, your 8-year-old doesn't even know if they like mashed potatoes or baked potatoes.
Or, I mean, that they even, no offense, want to date a girl.
Yeah, they haven't.
But most 8-year-olds I know look at girls and think they're disgusting.
But they believe it, and I'm like, all right, if you believe that, that's fine. But like, do you really want to like?
First of all, your 8-year-old kid does not know better than an adult.
No,
let him be.
You don't let
it's probably a phase.
8-year-olds don't vote.
Yeah.
8-year-olds don't drive. 8-year-olds don't drink alcohol. 8-year-olds can't buy cigarettes
or a gun.
For reasons. There's limitations on age.
To the cognitive ability of an 8-year-old.
When I was an 8-year-old.
When I was an 8-year-old, I mean, you saw me. I ran around with a spoon still.
Yeah, you were
pretending it was my sword as a pirate.
You were a whack job.
I was a whack job. You didn't tell me you can go be a pirate.
8 years old, I was in the backyard we had a forest in our backyard. 8 years old, I was out digging holes and building forts. And for no reason, I just like, my brother came in, what are you doing? I'm like, digging a hole. Why? I don't know.
Why not?
Why not? It's just big giant hole. Like, just, that's it, you know? So, it's craziness. So.
Yeah, I just don't, your kid.
But I chose this topic right here for a specific reason. My old gal. Well, that's Zoe Saldana, and she's processing the Carla Sofia Gascon fallout. Juan Carlos Gascon. I don't care if I'm dead naming it or not. But I'm not. But I'm allowing myself to still experience joy amid the Emilia Perez Oscar campaign. Why? Well, it came out that Juan Carlos, Carla Sofia Gascon, whatever the hell you want to be called, doesn't like immigrants or foreigners or stuff. There's some tweets.
Wait. Where is she from?
Spain.
Oh, she's Spanish.
Spanish.
I thought she was Latina for some reason.
No.
I somebody said that, and I believed them.
Hold on.
Are we sure? Let's fact check this.
No, I already did. There he is. Because I look at that picture and I don't say she.
Yeah, that just looks like. I'm sorry. Before you pulled that up, I thought it was Ozzy Osbourne.
It's just. Oh God. Emilia Perez star Carla Sofia Gascon under fire over tweets about Muslims, George Floyd, and Oscar diversity.
Wait, pause. You got the Muslims and the Floyd. You got the trifecta. That's just a triforce, right?
I'm going to read some of this to you. Let's see here. Largely between 2020 and 2021, so it wasn't that long ago. One example dated November 22nd, 2020. Quote, I'm sorry, is it just my impression, or is there more Muslims in Spain? Every time I go to pick up my daughter from school, there are more women with their hair covered and their skirts down to their heels. Next year, instead of English, we'll have to teach Arabic.
I mean, this is a very common view held amongst like Europeans who are typically conservative. And like somebody's a
transgender conservative who shit all over Catholicism in Mexico, but she's not even Mexican.
It doesn't get stopped there. It's also held a lot and very more popularly amongst people who are very far right. I would know this. In Italy, the same people say the same things, except for they add some more violence at the end of the words. But yeah.
Are they there legally?
Some of them no.
Okay, but a lot of them are.
A lot of them are. But
guess what? And guess what? I'm Arabic.
Right.
Speak all the Arabic you want, people. Invade Carlos Sofia Gascon's home and just start shouting Muslim at her.
I like Spain.
Just shout the Muslim.
Just be nice to
shout it.
Just respect the home countries, people.
Right.
Respect
Quote,
the culture.
Islam is marvelous without any machismo. Women are respected, and when they are so respected, they are left with a little squared hole on their faces for their eyes to be visible, in their mouths, but only if she behaves. Although they dress this way for their own enjoyment, how deeply disgusting of humanity.
Okay, that's just anti-Islamic.
By the way, she posted this picture of when she did that tweet. She posted this picture of this nice Arab family in the same restaurant eating as she did. And she was disgusted by this. So she decided to take a picture of the family and post it.
Oh, this is the Spanish. I was reading this. I was like, this is the same thing that was written above. There you go. Wow.
Gascon account says that Islam fails to comply with international rights and that religions must be banned as long as it does not comply with DDHH, using an abbreviation for human rights in Spanish law. Well, now I know it was all BS what she and the director said about Emilia Perez. They weren't looking to insult anybody's religion. They weren't looking to insult anybody's culture. They absolutely were. They absolutely were. They were absolutely looking to
her especially.
Yes, they were looking to replace the Virgin Mary with a transgender drug lord. That is what they did. And that is what they did to the country of Mexico. That is what they did to Catholicism.
I just respect people's religions. Is this that hard for people to do?
Let's go on.
Is it that hard?
In another post, Gascon writes, I am so sick of so much of this shit of Islam, of Christianity, of Catholicism, and all of the effing beliefs of morons that violate human rights.
What human rights are violated?
Listen, it doesn't matter what religion you are. If you violate human rights, you violate human rights. It's not a religious thing, people, anymore. People go, back in the 1500s. Sure, okay. Back in the 1500s, my people were slaves, so where are my reparations? Anyways.
Yeah, back in the 1500s, lots of things happened. And I mean lots of things.
This crap is gonna, this is someone who just hates religion. You know why? Because people like her, most transgender, they're spying, I'm stunning and brave. It's because they actually hate themselves. So they don't know what to do with that hate, so they hate other things. They find things to hate. They find things to tear down because that's what they do.
So other people can be like
that. Okay, well, we're not done yet. Okay. George Floyd. By the way, our house, we were like, what? A quarter of a mile right behind us was George Floyd's grave.
No. It wasn't a quarter mile. It was a block.
A block.
Remember, you just take that 2 turns. You take a turn out the neighborhood. You take the first left turn, and you're right there.
Every day you had to drive home.
On the school bus.
On the school bus.
It passes right by.
Passed right by.
I didn't even realize this until they were having his funeral there, and I was like, oh, all right.
Here we go. I quote, I really think that very few people ever cared about George Floyd, a drug addict swindler.
Okay, did he have his drug problems? Sure, absolutely.
Yeah, so did I. But you know
Most
what?
people,
But his death
not most
has
people, a
served.
good amount of people.
But his death has served to once again demonstrate that there are people who still consider black people to be monkeys without rights and consider policemen to be assassins. They're all wrong. Okay. Too many things to reflect on regarding the behavior of our species every time an event occurs. Perhaps it is no longer a question of racism, but of social classes that feel threatened by each other. Maybe that's the only real difference. Yes, I'm sure it's all social. I'm sure that's why George Floyd died, was because he was
It wasn't the knee on his neck and probably the
poor. Just because he was poor.
And also probably he did have fentanyl in his system, right? If the medical report said
he did, but he didn't deserve that.
No. I know, of course he didn't deserve to die. That's what I'm saying. I'm just saying, the fentanyl did not help. The knee killed him. Okay. I don't think this is a problem about being poor.
During the pandemic, the Chinese vaccine, apart from the mandatory chip, comes with 2 spring rolls, a cat that moves its hand, 2 plastic flowers, a pop-up lantern, 3 telephone lines, and €1 for your first controlled purchase. So many scientists in the world making bombs, so many scholars constructing objects for space, so many medical factories, and there's no one who can get in line with this Chinese shit. In the end, it was a tremendous show for a new variant of the flu, avian, or coronavirus. Wow.
Okay, so we've got COVID deniability. We've got George Floyd died because he was poor apparently. If only he had another dollar in that pocket. It wasn't the knee. And we've got anti-Muslim Islamic views and anti-religious views. It doesn't really help your case.
No. And when they asked her about it, what I don't like are social media teams, people who work with these people, trying to diminish our work, like me in my movie, because that doesn't lead anywhere. You don't need to tear down someone's work to highlight another's. Excuse me, that's all your movie does. It tears down a culture. It tears down people's lives who've lost loved ones. It tears down a religion that is sacred and so special and so passionately held by millions upon millions upon millions.
Especially by the country where your movie is based in.
That's all you do is tear. This piece of crap. She's just a piece of He's a piece of crap. Piece of crap.
I can't believe it. It just gets worse.
All right, it gets worse. All right? You don't need to tear down someone's work to highlight another's. I have never at any point said anything bad about Fernanda Torres or her movie. However, there are people working with her tearing me and Emilia Perez down. That speaks more about their movie than mine. She's in a spat with another actress. Probably because that actress should have been nominated and wasn't, and you took her spot because you're a guy, but you're a tranny.
If she wins.
She's going to win.
If he wins.
They've already voted. Here's the thing. They've already voted, and all this stuff came out after the voting. So, Emilia Perez, Juan Carlos Gascon, because that is not a woman. I look at that and go,
I look at Ozzy Osbourne if he had a twin sister.
I was thinking, you ever see Ferdinand the Bull from Looney Tunes?
Okay, yeah.
That's what that is right there.
I still think mine is better.
Woo!
Mine is better. It's just Ozzy Osbourne with tick. Look at it.
Oh, don't
get a picture. Get a picture of Ozzy Osbourne.
No, Ozzy looks bad now.
That's my point. Ozzy Osbourne. His music's great. But I'm not wrong. Pull a picture of him. You want to spell tunes?
Tunes.
No, you just couldn't even spell that. You're not wrong.
Emilia Perez, your best picture.
And then they'll compare mine.
Do you know how to spell Ozzy? There we go. It's right there. Just
when he had the highlights in his hair.
You know what?
No. You go. Let me control. Gringo.
Yeah, that one right there.
That one is perfect. I mean, Gringo.
God damn it.
Gringo.
God damn it.
It's just Ozzy with it.
Stop shaking the table, you.
My bad. I'm not wrong.
Yeah, it is. You're right. I stand corrected. Stand corrected. Going on the rails on a crazy train. You just won Best Picture.
What? How?
Still.
It just gets worse.
Still. Fernanda Bull. Last but not least. Did you see the trailer?
I saw
I
bits
saw
of it, but I didn't see actually the full trailer. I saw like people took screenshots and that kind of like analyzing things.
You know what a trailer is supposed to do?
Get you interested in hype?
Yeah. You know what this trailer didn't do?
Get you interested or hyped?
That's right. It was
People. I heard people don't like the CGI for the thing.
No, the CGI looked terrible.
Really?
I thought it was just. It looked so fake. It looked
I
so
like
fake.
the suits look great.
The aesthetic of the film looked great.
Yeah, I just said the aesthetic. I like the aesthetic.
The only thing that was like cool is you got a shot of Galactus like from behind.
Okay.
Like okay, now they're not going to show the Silver Surfer because they went with Shia Bal, which is the female Silver Surfer who appeared in like a dozen comic books in an alternate multiverse. Right, instead of Nora and Rad, which is the original. So people are like, okay, so they went with the very obscure sex change Silver Surfer. I did a video on it like a year ago.
I know you. I know you did a video on the Silver Surfer. I was just hoping they wouldn't.
Yeah. Yeah.
And again, nothing wrong with female actors or anything. It's just if you're gonna do a comic, do the prominent version. You know what I mean? It's definitely in there.
That's from a long time ago.
Scroll really, really far.
Hey, Larfleeze.
Where's
I
the
know.
silver
Yeah,
thing?
there it is, right here. Julie Garner as Shala Bal, or as Marvel Troll. That's that. That was it. That was the. So if you want to check this out, there you go. You want to know who Shala Bal is? There you go. All right. So.
Are they gonna do a race change?
No. It's just a section. It's okay. It doesn't get me excited.
From man to woman or woman to man.
Listen.
Green
Don't sing the song.
Adam's app.
I'll kill you.
No, it's been all over my feed. There's just been all over my Instagram
From
feed.
woman, from man to woman,
My Instagram
from
feed.
woman to man, from man to woman, so from penis to vagina. Oh my god.
My Instagram feed has just been posts and reels of. I still understand how this has one of the most Oscar nominations, and it's just that song.
It has the most Oscar nominations, except for one movie has more. I think it's Titanic, or did it tie Titanic? Wait,
I don't think it tied Titanic.
it has 13. Something's got 14. What film has the most
Swear words. You want to spell Oscar there, or
Oscar nomination? All About Eve. All About Eve, Titanic, and La La Land are tied for the most with 14 each. This came in with 13.
for what?
13.
For what? Musical?
Everything. Best picture, best actress, best supporting actress, best director, best writing, best everything. Best cinematography, best this, best this.
You know what would be really, really wrong, but also kind of funny? Is this they nominated him for not only best actress, but also best actor.
This movie.
So that he could go out with the double.
Wow. Okay, here's the list that it's now on. Gone with the Wind, Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring.
I'm sorry, it's on
Forrest Gump.
It's
Mary Poppins.
Okay, those last three you just listed were already legendary. Gone with the Wind was the highest grossing movie, I think, with inflation.
Yeah, for inflation. The Shape of Water, I didn't see it, could care less. The Curious Case of Benjamin Button, great. From Here to Eternity, legendary. Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf, legendary. Chicago.
Pretty good.
Pretty good musical. Like, okay,
Very good musical.
I like musicals when it's a good musical. Like Shakespeare in Love. Fuck Shakespeare in Love. That should not have won that year. Oppenheimer.
Okay, no.
So, anyway.
What?
So this movie here, Fantastic Four. I've seen the first one. I saw the sequel to the first one. I saw the reboot. All three of them were terrible.
Yeah.
Now, going back to the very first one where it was Chris Evans as Johnny Storm.
It's not as bad.
It's not as bad. It's actually kind of like
the humor hits.
The humor hits.
The humor hits, yeah. It just was bad because at the time it was just kind of still.
It was just a bad story. The way they did Dr. Doom was
Yeah.
bad. Right? Look, I'm not getting excited for a fourth time that they're going to get
Hey, Fantastic Four, fourth time's the
They're
charm.
gonna get her.
It's in the name.
Listen. Vanessa Kirby, standout actress, one of the premier actresses of our time in this moment, modern day, hands down. Can she do a great Sue Storm? She can do a great anything. Pedro Pascal, sick of seeing him. I'm just sick of seeing him. It's not that he's bad. I don't want to see him anymore. It's like
He's in everything.
It's like every day I'm having meatloaf for dinner. I'm like, I don't want meatloaf anymore. I like meatloaf.
Well, he hasn't.
But can I have some chicken wings?
He hasn't been in some things for a little bit.
He was just in Gladiator 2.
Oh yeah, that's right. No, never mind. He's been. Sorry, Pedro, tried to be in your corner. Right? Can't really.
Just he's in everything. All right. And you know, he's just one of those. And he's just, you know,
who's Firestar?
All this stuff. People, who cares? No one knows. And the thing is, like, a lot of his views and all this. First of all, he's got like all the. It comes out these videos. He's got anxiety, so he has to hold Vanessa Kirby's hand on stage at live events because he has anxiety. But he doesn't have anxiety when it comes to calling all Republicans the N-word from 20th century Germany.
Oh, I thought
yeah, he compares. He compares
the other N-word.
Different N-word.
Oh, I was like,
he compares MAGA Republicans to people that supported Hitler. So
yeah, a little
it's like
dude, they set up some train systems asset check. We're a little far away from that.
It's just like, come on. So I don't know if this comes out after Superman. Now Superman.
Oh, Superman's gonna kill it.
No, someone said there was issues with Superman.
What do you mean, like production or like issues with, like people are? No, please don't.
Yeah, quality is considered mediocre. Superman film in trouble. But there's a lot of clickbait. It's in trouble. So there's a lot of complaints. Listen, all I know is this. I just rewatched season 1 of Peacemaker.
Oh, yeah.
I saw Creature Commandos. I had some things to say about the first and second episodes, but after that, I thought it was fabulous.
Right.
I thought Peacemaker, rewatching it, there's like about a 2-minute interval in the last scene, which is like a little preachy about climate change. Done without it. But watching it again, I'm like,
it's good.
It's really good.
I don't mind. Okay, I mean, obviously, I don't like social messaging, but if you're gonna entertain me, you want to throw like a small message in there. Yeah. Fine. So, it's your art. It's your art. Your film.
So series. James Gunn, I have no problem with. I think he's gonna pull this crap together. He's not going to let Superman fail. Yeah. Because if that fails, there goes the whole DC universe.
Yeah, and I think he's just fired.
And he's just might as well quit. They'll fire.
Yeah.
So this is gonna follow that.
I mean, they're giving him the golden boy essentially.
Yeah, I think Superman is going to be the #1 film of the summer.
I
think this is going to fall flat because it's Marvel and it doesn't have. Look, what comes out before all this, right? Daredevil, Born Again. Hopefully that hits as a series and is good. But like, look at all the other crap, like Ironheart. They're finally releasing where it's like the poor black girl in the ghetto. She's a better Tony Stark in Iron Man than Tony Stark. And she's smarter.
When does that come out?
This year. She's smarter.
I've never heard of this.
She's more creative.
Why you gotta do that to Robert?
Yep.
You gotta do that to my Downey Jr.
Just saying. He's Doctor Doom now, so we will.
That's fair. But still.
So they're going with Galactus. I think that's the only thing I want to see Galactus done really well. I think that's they're not showing the Silver Surfer, right? Because there was backlash at the beginning of it. They are showing Galactus one scene from behind. There he is, It's like there's his shadow. So the Eater, so if that doesn't look good, if that CGI is not done well, then we have problems. But overall, the trailer, I watched it and I did not say to myself, gee, golly, I can't wait to see that.
Well, then you have past issues with Fantastic Four films.
Yeah, but I try to give everything, like Superman, I was like, yeah, I'm excited to see that.
I haven't seen
multiple issues with a lot of the Superman films from the past.
I haven't seen the trailer yet, right? But I can tell you just from the images I've seen, the aesthetics look really nice. Okay. And I think I got some hope right now. I'll watch the trailer later. But what else is in here? You got the trailer.
Well, we're not going to watch the trailer ourselves. Well, I'm not going to put it on. We'll see you react to the trailer.
Okay.
So there you go.
I could have gone without. I could have gone without the narration. Maybe a little more action stuff.
There wasn't much to it.
There wasn't too much to it, but I like the aesthetics.
The
I'm
aesthetics
a big fan of the
great.
aesthetics.
The '60s, the
I
whole,
like it.
the car, the buildings,
I love
New
it.
York at that time.
I love it.
Love it.
That's I think perfect. The thing, it doesn't look that bad actually. CGI. I think people were giving too. I think because they expect so much more because we're in such a different age. But with computer graphics, you have to understand how graphics are made. They're essentially it's a bunch of triangles that are meshed together, and as graphics get better, you can only make triangles look so much more smoother than the last generation before.
And look,
right?
I'm not going to judge the film on the thing as CGI. I'm going to judge the film on narrative and all that stuff. But
it looks interesting.
I'm
intrigued. I'm not like hyped, but I'm intrigued. I want to see it.
Take away Deadpool and Wolverine.
Okay.
What was the last great Marvel film that you saw? It's Endgame.
Endgame. I mean, I like the.
It's Endgame. It's 2019.
The Doctor Strange one.
The multiverse.
That wasn't too bad.
It was pretty bad.
It was too bad.
It was pretty bad.
It was pretty funny hearing. Oh, well, actually,
because it wasn't a Doctor Strange movie. It was a WandaVision movie.
Yeah. Now I remember. Okay, I was misremembering the ending. I was switching it with another movie. Yeah. No. I mean, what was Spider-Man?
And it was okay. That's not a Marvel movie.
It is a Marvel.
It's Sony and Marvel. So
it's Sony and Marvel.
Take away Spider-Man. Take away Deadpool. Take away those two.
Okay, fine. Well, I mean, Spider-Man was the answer.
Straight up Marvel.
Pure Marvel? Okay.
Pure Marvel.
Probably anything that I can think of.
And
was there any other Marvel movie I watched?
Did you watch Ant-Man and Quantumania?
No.
Thank God you didn't, because
I heard it was very terrible. Bad. The only thing I saw from that was the meme of like the me and my bro.
Listen, chronological list of Marvel films.
Films instead of movies. Wow, so fancy.
Okay, let's see here. Are they actually going to give us a list?
Here it is. Yeah, because you're Captain America.
Okay.
Oh, this is by time.
Yeah. So Deadpool and Wolverine. Before that, The Marvels, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, which is okay.
I didn't see it.
It was okay.
I heard it wasn't that
great. It wasn't like wow.
Okay.
Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania.
Didn't watch that.
Black Panther: Wakanda Forever.
Okay, no.
Thor: Love and Thunder.
Letdown. That was a letdown.
That was so terrible.
That was an absolute letdown.
Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness.
Not too bad, but not great. Great. It's like bad news.
Spider-Man, we're going to get rid of
That's great.
Eternals.
No.
Terrible. No. Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. No.
Was it bad?
It was great. No, it wasn't.
Was it okay?
It was okay. It was, I would only want to see it on Netflix or Disney Plus. I'd never want to actually pay more money than that to see it. Then you got Far From Home, but before that, there you go. Endgame.
Yeah.
Infinity War. Ant-Man and the Wasp, which wasn't a great movie. Thor Ragnarok, great. Doctor Strange, great. Black Panther wasn't a great movie, but I understand why it made $1 billion.
Good. I think it's good.
I thought the CGI sucked. Spider-Man: Homecoming, Black Widow. That girl got done dirty. She deserved her own movie a lot earlier in the series,
right?
And it should have been way more theatrical. She got done dirty. Civil War, and so I mean, you just look at like. But now,
and so they've been on a kind of rough streak.
Yeah, it's a rough streak. Rough streak. So
okay.
So there's a lot riding on the Fantastic
Four. Well, I think it also depends on the Deadpool series as well. I say that because
done. I mean, they're gonna do another movie. Maybe?
Not Deadpool series. Sorry, I mean Daredevil.
Daredevil.
Because if Daredevil fails, then you're not gonna want to go see Fantastic Four. If Daredevil does well, it's gonna make you intrigued enough. Okay, what are they gonna do here with this?
I don't know if they're
that correlated.
I don't think they're that.
They're not that correlated, but I think it's because some people will be like, okay, look at what Marvel's put out. I spent my time and money on this. Do I think I'm gonna get that same result with the next product?
I know, every time I go to a Marvel movie now, I'm just my eyes burn because of the Marvels. It was so bad. And Thor: Love and Thunder.
I didn't watch the Marvels.
Do we have Disney Plus? You want to watch the Marvels?
No. I
Black Girl Magic. Literally, that's what Nick Fury says. Sam Jackson's character. Because Monica Rambeau, she's like, I can't fly. I can't. You can do it. You can save her. And he said, I can't. And he just yells out, Black Girl Magic, and she flies.
Was that their attempt at humor?
I don't know. I don't know what it was.
It's funny because it's so random.
Well,
but it's terrible because
It's black girl magic. So, and then it's the cat. Like the whole plot revolves around like you need the cat. You know, the cat that scratched out Nick Fury's eye in the original Captain Marvel. And then you get the cat. It's not really a cat. It's like an alien that can just swallow anything and keep it. And then there's more cats. There's lots of cats.
I mean, I like cats, but like
there's lots of cats. It's like a cat. It's like
when did cats come into this?
Well, I mean, maybe they were looking for that middle-aged woman, cat, single, wine drinking demographic.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds about right. Yeah, all right.
I'm just saying that's what I think it was. But anyways.
I'm intrigued by the Marvels, the Fantastic Four, not the Marvels. God,
I'm intrigued, but
not excited.
So, okay, so this has been our first stream
in new house.
New house.
Hopefully we get the internet better.